Hello and welcome to SOUNDTRAXX, and welcome to part 2 of this KitBash. The second installment is all about colors, washes, and details. Let's get started, and here we are. So you see, it was always meant to be a two-tone building. We have the brown on one side. I'm really happy I finally found this color. It's satin nutmeg. To contrast that a little bit, I chose a little bit of a dull down the paprika red. For the other side, we have red. I think what's called a colonial red for the brick. To contrast that, I don't want to do red on red. I chose just a very standard gray color for the door and the window sills. So where do we go from there? Zooming in a bit, I'm actually going to go for a more bland option, and that's this last one. It also looks great. So if you ask what did I do to it, well, absolutely nothing. I just added a black wash that brought out some of the mortar, and then I stained it, dry brushed it with some gray, and that's the wash. And I took the liberty to just do a few more steps, but we need to talk a little bit about this crease that we created right here and how we're going to disguise that. The first thing I was thinking to do is take a strip of this polystyrene, very thin, I think it's 0.3 millimeters. Paint it black, sponge it a bit gray just to make it a little bit less, fresh. And I could take that and stick that on there just to make the ugly pretty again and to make it more obvious. Because don't forget that back in the day, buildings were often made a certain height and then extended by a few floors. So that's what you could be simulating with this. And I made this and I thought, well, it's also not really quite right. So what I'm gonna do is after the wash, I want to add some grime anyways. So I just added grime here at this seam downwards, just to simulate that there is just a seam here for whatever reason. Could be because they extended the building or there's some kind of fault in it, and water just accumulates there and then drips down. And I'm actually quite happy with that look. I did the red, and I also did that here on this brown section, as you can see halfway through. Just did it as well here where we'll do it normally anyways, and where these black windows are, and the top a little bit. And here as well, what are we seeing? We're seeing the fire escape. Those are going to be positioned here. I pre-grimed the building just a little bit where the fire escape is going to be, just to give it that extra edge. Now, if you want to see in detail how these techniques work and which colors I use, watch the video that's right there in the corner, video number 164, and there I explain it in detail. So in this video, I'm just going to glance over it because I don't want to repeat myself. Now, I added these bay numbers because we are going to operate on this layout, so you do need to know where to spot the car. This was a super easy, basically a 5-minute job. What I did is I made these numbers on the printer, different sizes that I printed out, chose the size that I liked. I weathered it quickly with the brush and with the same colors I used for the grime. In the end, I just cut it out. I took literally a drop of matte medium and just stuck the numbers straight on there. And I'm really happy with it. And here are 2 loading bays for trucks, and decided to put the numbers on the side. Now, I'm just going to put these templates for these numbers. I'm going to add some different sizes to it on my Patreon, on the 2nd tier and the 3rd tier that will be made available there. Nothing too fancy, but if you need it, it's very handy to have. Next is the window dressing, and I already cut all these different roller blind, all the different roller blinds. They're different because of different lengths. I'll also make these available on my Patreon page. They come on a page like this, and this is already version 2 actually. You can see it's difficult to see, but I dulled the color down just a little bit. The black is more gray, and I took some of the whiteness of the roller blind off. So anyways, same story, tier 2 on my Patreon. You can find version 1 and version 2. And you'll get not only the roller blinds, but also these horizontal lamellin. So I'm just going to cut all these roll blinds out and stick them to the back. Looks something like this. I already, as you see in the reflection, I took the window plastic and I stuck them on in strips. There's really no need to cut them out and stick them individually for each window. I have almost 100 windows here, so you do need to think of some techniques to use to really save some time to do this. But unfortunately for the window blinds, it's going to be a 1-by-1 story. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So to apply the window dressing, first I brush on some matte medium. Then I stick on the piece of cardboard. I flip the piece around and look through the window to position the window dressing where it has to be, make sure it's straight. And because the matte medium dries up clear, you're not going to see it. And that's that. So simple as that. So how do we create these tight seams like this one, like that one, and like that one, and the ones that we still need to make? There's 3 different elements to it. Position, we got seam, and we got strength. First, we need to position the 2 panels correctly. So for that, I just use our normal kit glue. I put a small dot here on the bottom, a small dot here on the top. Get my angle tools, whatever you use to get the panels at least stay upright and in the right position. Now, second is the seam. You want to fill this seam, or at least what I do, is with matte medium. And this is just a kind of a filler to make sure that the entire seam is filled, that you don't look through it. Because it's very obvious if you have a crack right here, you can see some light peering through or something like that. You don't want that. So I just want to fill it with something, and for that I use matte medium. Now you could fill it with that same glue that you used to glue this, but the thing is, you're going to get excess glue, you're going to push it out, and then it becomes shiny, and it just messes everything up. So I'm not going to use that. But because we don't use glue for strength, we'll need another product. I use the glue gun for strength. Here you see there's even more. I really dotted it in just to get every piece set as we go and to make sure it's tight. So with the roof, this has become a bit of an odd shape. And there's only one way to make this, and it's just trial and error. I started with this piece. I put it against the wall, and I put the structure on top of it actually, and then drew it off. Then I cut it out, all the pieces, made sure it fit everywhere where it needs to fit. And then I reused most of the old roof that I can. And you notice I left this bit on. I mean, it's basically because there's a little bit of a bump here, so I can cut this off. Then there's going to be a hole in the bump, so I thought, let me just leave it. I can always put a little entrance structure there or something along those lines. You need to make it a little bit easier for yourself when you can. And yeah, this is going to sit something like this. The next step is to spray it all black. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to spray it with spray can and then sprinkle some sand over it while it's still wet. Try to do 2 steps in one. Here on the right, as you see, the roof line is going to go like this, and I did make a little separate entrance piece. I'll save that to the end. That will fit in here, so when you look from that side, you don't look in here. It seems like the train is just disappearing into the building. So yeah, let's get this painted and then glued in place. So now the structure is finished, and as you see, there's a lot going on here. I can lift it up, and I wanted to make it relatively stiff. So I did that by adding all these support braces. This one diagonally does the most when it comes to stiffness. I added this brace here to stabilize this wall. The roof was slanting down, so I added these 90-degree corner pieces, and then I just glued in all the way from the left and from the top this support bracket right here. And the front wall was a bit wobbly, it's quite big, so I added this brace right there. And now it's really stiff. You can easily manipulate it and put it wherever you want. So that's great. So let me put this into the final position. Let's talk about some details. So I added stairs. That still needs to be glued in place, but we'll do that later on when everything is done. Got some extra stairs there. Got the numbers, we added that. Got the drain pipe, added that, a little bit broken there. That one, little structure on top there. And there's actually a staircase at the back. And this is where they store that one little extra window frame they have left, just in case something goes wrong. Now on the roof, we got all the chimneys right there. And I'm going to add a little structure right there. Just for now, I think that will really, look at that. Look at that skyline. That really looks great, doesn't it? And then we get to the fire escape from ABR Model Works. This is a 3D printed part, or actually many parts. So how to deal with that? First, you cut them all loose from the support brackets. Then I gave it a quick black base coat. Then I sponged that with gray just to get rid of the freshness of the black paint, to give it a bit of a weathered look. And then on to the rest. You can leave out these yellow, bright, rusty colors and just go straight to the darker ones that seemed more appropriate. Then it's onto assembly. I used a matte medium to glue the different pieces onto the bricks. I started at the bottom of the staircase. It seemed easier to slide the pieces into each other like that. And then we're done. And how to get down to the floor. You cannot put some stairs here because there needs to be a clearance for the boxcars. So these guys on that floor have to go up one level, and here's a drop down staircase that drops all the way down to more or less here. Then you can exit like that. But for now, I really like this look. And I also like that this gives a little bit extra character, that this little step, instead of just having straight stairs all the way up and down. Look at the clearance as well now that we're here. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that just how we like to see it? I mean, I just put this building down. I might move it a little bit, inchy more back down. Maybe not. Let's see. Put in some corner braces here. It's difficult to see, but you do want to protect those corners. I have another one here, very sharp corner. And then if we fly around on this side, this was a bit of an unanticipated part of the build. Initially, I had nothing here, and you could just see all the way down, and it just looked a bit odd. So I decided to fill it in just to build a little wall. Had some extra parts left over from ABR Model Works just to make this little gateway. And that is a really distinct and characteristic look right now of this building. I do like it. In the upcoming layout update video, I'll give some more insight and my thoughts of the build and what went wrong and what didn't go wrong. But for now, I just want to leave it right here and give you some little bit more B-roll shots, some nice pictures. And thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you are still watching. Thank you very much, guys. That's it for today. Bye-bye.